All right, guys, we're going to do a classroom tour of my tour today for our first Periscope lunch party. So thank you for joining in. Hello, La Pow Pow. We're going to get started here, and we'll give a couple more minutes to get people on here. So this is my classroom. I'm lucky. I have a big room. I'm not doing this to rub this in anybody's face, but we're very lucky here at my school. So thank you for joining, everyone that's on. We're getting started a few minutes late here, about on time. I just got my kids down to lunch. So right now you're looking at my welcome area, I guess you would call it. So right inside my front door of my classroom, I set up a little welcome area with some pictures that kids have given me and just some decorations. Actually, those truffula trees there were given to me by our PTO after a fundraiser event that they held. And then the big picture was painted by one of my parents in my classroom. The kindergarten sign I know is kind of hard to see, but I'll show you here. So the big red sign there is spelled out with kindergarten from different things around our school that one of my students from last year gave me. So her and her dad took pictures of things around our school that spelled out each letter. So I thought that was a really cool gift. So it welcomes everybody into our classroom. Got another, this is definitely a quote for my room. Growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. That's why I teach kindergarten. So that's my welcome area. It's inviting, makes the kids want to come to my room. Got this fancy number rug at IKEA. I think it was maybe 12 bucks that I picked up. Stations back here. I followed a lady on YouTube, and I cannot remember her name right off the top of my head, but she does stations called Build Centers. I'm doing centers called Math and Read Centers. So those buckets, eventually, once I finish introducing everything to the kids that are in each of those buckets, will have the letters M-A-T-H on them. Those are all math activities. And then they'll pick through those throughout the week, and I'll explain more about that once I get them set up. We'll do another video for another Periscope day. I have my I Can chart back here. So I found these really cool stamps. I think they're from Learning Resource, but I got them at a store local here called the Chalkboard. So they're little stamps that are different I Can statements. So Ellie read me all of her ABCs on her first test, so she has her stamp already for I can name all my letters. And then I'm going to stamp throughout the year, and I'm sure I'll have to add more to it, but all the way across, so their parents, when they visit, or anybody in the classroom, can see exactly all the different things they can do, and then I'll be able to cut that apart at the end of the year and send it home with them. So a little easy one. This wall here is just a big bulletin board wall that separates the classroom next door to mine. So it's got birthday stuff, tooth chart. Our pocket chart over there on the left with the white notes are called Hawk Bucks. It's our reward system here at school, and we have a Hawk Bucks store that we actually get to visit. It's awesome this year. First year doing it, and it's worked out really well. To the right over here, this room's not ready yet because it's the last thing we set up, but the teacher next door to me, we're lucky. I'll show you the space. You can see through to her classroom. We share this little space, and that becomes our little computer lab. So we have computers in there, iPads, iPods. It's just a little tech lab that our kids can go in together during stations and share that space. I've got my Lego and sorting table. So we do Lego, sorting, puzzles, all kinds of things over there as a station. You're gonna see Seuss animals hanging around the ceiling. Those mark the different stations around my room that the kids use. So our Sortin' with Horton is what we call it. That's our station for sorting things. My art station over here, I was lucky enough to get 4 easels this year. We use them all the time. We use art all the time in my classroom. Then I have a table for kids who don't want to stand and want to do art projects. This is one of my favorite walls in my classroom. The things you can think up if only you try wall. So anytime any of my students draw me a picture from home, you can see we just got started this year, so I don't have very many. They draw me a picture, they write me a note, anything, I stick it in their pocket, and each pocket is like a picture frame. So I labeled them with artist numbers. So it's artist number 1 and 2 all the way up to my kids for the year. And I just slip their pictures in there, and that kind of saves clutter on my desk. It saves wall space where I'm not stapling pictures up or magneting pictures up to the wall. They can all have their own little frame to display their work. My bus chart, so these are all the kids riding the bus today. That's their cubby number. They move their magnet down if they're getting picked up. They move their magnet down if they're getting out early. It just helps me remember. It's an easy one. Hello, Curry Seymour. Thanks for joining. Over here, sink and bathroom area. I'm lucky I've got a bathroom in my classroom. Kindergarten, we need it. You know that if you're a kindergarten teacher. So I'm extremely lucky to have that right here. A little sink area, all my paint, washable stuff is over here. The other side of my easels, I add into this center. So this is my writing center, and they get to draw on the whiteboards during writing center when they're done with their have-to work. We're working on name writing right now, so that's a name writing page from esgisoftware.com. And if you want to know more about them, check out my Facebook page. I've got a lot of posts for ESGI software. Our kitchen playhouse area is a mess right now because we just finished doing a little PlayStation area. This is my neighbor, Mrs. Beeler.
Mrs. Beeler, returning pipe cleaners.
Returning my pipe cleaners. We're doing a live broadcast right now.
Awesome.
This is my playhouse area, so they're just finished there. They're not cleaning up yet. They're going to finish that later this afternoon because we were late for lunch. We are lucky enough to have a little exit right here to go out for fire drills and do a little courtyard. My reading rug, that I call it. I love that rug. Thanks for joining everyone that's coming in right now. Thank you. We're just getting started. We're about halfway through my classroom. My reading rug and my reading area. This is a little bench that I made. It was an old college futon actually that my dad and I ripped apart and turned it into a bench, and then I Mod Podged all those Seuss covers on there a couple summers ago. So the kids love to sit on that and read their books together. I have all my books sorted into bins by themes and by topics. Thank you for the comments. So there's a bunch of themes down here on the front of the books. And then I use those books and I match up pictures, labels on the back of the book that match, right there you can see, that match the label on the front of the book. So that's how I do my book sorting. And I've got some more videos up on my YouTube channel about sorting books. There's my bookshelf that I made. That was actually an old dresser of my parents that I ripped apart and built into a bookshelf. I painted that one summer, a few summers ago, I guess. Thanks for all the love, guys. And then more books. This is probably one of my favorite tables in my classroom. This is my discovery table that was built by a friend of mine, a retired teacher who was on my team, who actually just passed away a few years ago. She was awesome. But she made this table, or her son made this table for us. An old door that he built so it holds perfectly these Sterilite tubs. So each tub fits down inside there. And then underneath is where I keep all of my tubs. So I've got beans and rice and sand and beads and all kinds of things that we use for discovery and sorting stations to find things. So my science center, I guess as you would call it. All of my cubbies, another kind of messy area, but there's other cubbies. And there are the bags, and I'll get your question, sorry. There are the bags that I talked about in my post yesterday, the carpet bags that we use hanging in their cubbies. Do I do all related things? Yeah, I cover all topics in my room, but we do go to other specialists. So he asked if we have art, library, all that in my classroom. I don't. I go to library once a week, art once a week, PE once a week, music once a week. But I do stations that involve all of those. So my station rotation time, I call it, there's always an art center, there's always the book center open, there's always a science center, there's always a math center, there's always reading activities. We're gonna go quick over here because I'm not at my desk very often. I don't have a desk, I have a table. So I ditched my desk this past year. I have a table, I'm not at it very often, so it's a mess. I'm with the kids. I'm never behind there except to check them in the morning. It's storage. Computer set up to my smartboard radio area. Thank you, appreciate it. So I've got my smartboard, we use that all the time. Those baskets are all extras, so pencils, dry erase markers, erasers, our counters that we use. So anything that they need to grab that they don't need to interrupt me for, they just go grab it. My station chart, so I told you hanging on my ceiling are all Dr. Seuss animals hanging around. So I print out a picture that matches each animal, and then I just rotate those pictures down, and they know which group they go to for that day for our station rotation time. I'll do another video all about stations another day, but this is just a tour, so there's a quick glimpse of that. I talked about my math tubs. These are going to be our reading tubs once we get them all introduced. So during reading time, I always do a little reading station time instead of just constant work. They get to learn through play. So we learn through play with reading tubs. And I said earlier in the broadcast, I know some of you are just joining, but I'll do a big Periscope on just reading tubs and math tubs and how I'm going to use them. I'm not done introducing all the tubs to them yet, but once they are, they'll all be labeled and ready for them to use on their own. Our squares, as we call them, so it's just foam squares. That's where we sit during our whole group time. I used to use my carpet, that's over here, my reading rug, but the squares give them a defined space. It must stink when it comes time to wax your floor. Yeah, the custodial staff does not like me very much. Our fire marshal hates me too because my room is filled in. But they do a great job, our custodial staff in the summer, cleaning it out, waxing it, and then that's a fun time for me, putting it all back together. I love redesigning each year and setting it all back up. So that's a good comment. The squares give them a defined space. So they know that that's their square. They keep all their supplies in their square. And then they're not worrying about who's sitting where and touching each other. Block area, we play with the blocks on the squares. That big blue tub is full of blocks too. So we play with the blocks back here in the squares just to kind of deaden the noise and cause fingers from not getting smashed. My favorite area of my room, my Osmo Station. So I did a video on our YouTube channel about Osmos a while back. They are an amazing company, amazing product. If you don't know what an Osmo is yet, go check it out. It's 80 bucks on Amazon. Looks like this, and I'm going to have actually a referral link soon, so I'll post that in a little while. But it's an add-on to an iPad, and it just extends the iPad. I mean, their slogan, play beyond the screen. It extends the iPad out to hands-on activities. So I actually got 3 of those through donorschoose.org. My YouTube channel, thank you for asking, is just Teachers Learn 2, T-O-O. If you search that, Teachers Learn 2 on YouTube, you'll find it. Love it, guys. Thank you for the comments. And you're going to find videos about all this stuff in my classroom eventually. A lot of these are already on there. But go check it out, please. Subscribe. I love it that I've got so many comments coming through. But yeah, Teachers Learn 2. Our website, actually, if you just go to www.teacherslearn2.com, it'll link you right to our YouTube channel. TOO was already taken as a website domain. So it's teacherslearn2.com, and that'll take you directly to my YouTube channel. So my Osmo Station, again, I ditched my desk. That used to be my desk, but that's our Osmo Station now. Thank you. And then I guess that's the last part. I do community supplies. We use, I just don't like crayon boxes and stuff, so they know that those are their cups they need, and if they need a cup, they get it, and they work around the room. One more thing you're going to see, I don't have tables and chairs for everyone. A good friend of mine, Kim Adsit, who if you know anything about elementary education or have been to conferences, you're going to see Kim Adsit presenting. She's retired now, but she was a kindergarten teacher, and she never used desks and tables in her chairs, or chairs in her room. So I went away from this. A friend of mine, Greg, with the kindergarten smorgasbord, he does this as well. No tables, no chairs for everyone. They work on the floor, and they love it. So they work in stations around the room. They don't need tables. They work all over. They choose where they want to sit. If you check out my Facebook page, Teachers Learn 2, T-O-O, you're going to see a post that I did yesterday of our morning binders where they were just working around the classroom. So I'll go in the middle here. I'll give you a big 360. So I am standing directly in the middle of my classroom. That's my entry door. Again, my easels, my bathroom area, our discovery area, all my storage, ignore that. My desk area, our whole group area, what used to be on my word wall, now I just call it our what we know wall, because I don't think they need the words up there all year. They have their own little cards with the words on them. I've got rings of cards around the room that they can use. I'll do a post on that another time. So we call it our what we know wall. It's not just words, it's everything that we're learning. My kitchen area, Playhouse area, our exit to the fire drills, and then my tech room back there that I share with my neighbor, Mrs. Beeler, who popped in here a little while ago. So there is my classroom tour. I hope you guys like it. Again, I know it's kind of messy. We're in the middle of the day right now. But I'm lucky. It's huge, and I'm lucky that our administrators also let me teach developmentally. So I teach as a developmental teacher. I don't teach the curriculum. I teach my students. That's what I tell people. I saw that quote the other day. Some teachers teach curriculum. Some teachers teach the students, and I teach the students. So thank you for the floor concept. I love that. This is another thing cool. See the tiles? When our installers were installing the tile, they asked how we wanted the colors in the room, and we actually got to pick that we wanted them in a straight line. So that's my lineup line. So the kids, I don't have to tape down feet or tape down numbers. That's where we line up every day. My line leader stands in this first one, and then the line goes back. So if you ever get the chance to redo the tile in your classroom and the architect asks you, ask for a lineup line. Those are our school colors there. So it's worked well. Thank you, Curry Seymour. I love it. I saw your comment about coming to observe. I'm in Illinois. I don't know where you guys are, but I do. I welcome teachers into my classroom all the time. I'm actually going to be presenting at a couple conferences this year at the Illinois Reading Conference in Peoria coming up October. I'm going to be presenting 2 sessions at the Illinois ASCD Conference in Schaumburg in March. And then big news coming up, I'm going to announce something for a summer conference that I'll be doing too. I'm not going to announce it yet until I hear for sure, but hopefully you'll see me at a big conference in the summer. So thank you guys for tuning in. This will be up on Facebook and YouTube later, but please share with all your teacher friends, tag them on Twitter, do whatever you can to get the word out about Teachers Learn 2. And check our YouTube page for sure. Again, www.teacherslearn2.com, and that'll link you straight to YouTube. So thanks for all the love. Thanks for watching. This is my classroom tour. This is our first Periscope lunch party. Go enjoy your lunch. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you guys later.